What's up, family? Welcome to the channel. Peep the shirt. Still a kid, always a kid. But here in Orlando, got a room for the night. Got a big long haul trip tomorrow. Gonna be going from Cape Canaveral, about an hour from here, to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Got 2 drops there. Then going to Maryland. Then back to Florida. So broker gave me the load. As of right now, this will be only our 3rd load. So for anybody that's looking to get into the transportation sector and have their own authority, it's tough the first 3 months. So I would recommend having working capital, and not only having working capital being diesel. And just to put it into perspective, in order to make that $5,000-6,000 a week that you see, that sounds pretty appetizing, at $20,000 a month, you're gonna be spending about $1,000 in diesel a week, $1,200 in diesel a week. So gotta have that working capital. But the next few days I'll be voyaging South Carolina. I'll go keep you guys in the loop on that. That's tough. Keep you guys in the loop on that. And when I get to South Carolina, I heard Myrtle Beach is a beautiful area, so I'm gonna leave out early tomorrow. I'll try to get there so I can have some downtime. I'm gonna explore some of the beaches around there. I also heard that they have beautiful waterfalls, so I'm gonna try to get some of that footage for you guys, for anybody that hasn't been to South Carolina. This will be my first time, so let's get into it. I got some notes here though. Keep me on topic. So today I'm going to be talking about how to make money with your car, both passively and as a source of income. For me, I used my car to become my own boss initially. I started small. So, but before I get to all of that, I want to briefly talk about the state of the economy that we are in now, because that will lead us to our discussion. Okay. So the first thing I want everybody to know is that inflation is real. If you don't know what inflation is, you need to Google it. If you don't know what inflation is, you need to read a book on it. Inflation is the natural rises in goods and services. Inflation is the natural rise in goods and services. So what does that look like? Okay. So you know how when your parents would say, I could go to the gas station with $1 and come back out with a full bag of food. Okay, another example. You know, a few years ago, when you go into the store, convenience store, I don't know if some of y'all are too good for this, but the 2 bags of chips, those 2 bags of chips used to be 50 cents for 2 of them. And if I recall correctly, you could have got 4 of them for $1. Now you go to that same gas station and 2 bags of chips is for $1. The answer for that is inflation. It's very important as a people that we understand inflation, because inflation reduces our purchasing power, meaning that $20 today is not worth $20 10 years ago. Now, why is inflation rising? Inflation is rising due to PPP that all of you took advantage of, due to the stimulus checks that we all took advantage of, right? So the government, what their grand idea was during COVID, because a lot of businesses could not operate due to us being on lockdown. So a lot of businesses went out of business. And compound that with a lot of people lost their jobs due to businesses not making the same amount of money. So when you hear that America is a democracy, that is a lie. That is a flat out lie. I'm here to tell you that what you learn in school, all that is just straight bullshit. It's a lie. America is a capitalistic society. meaning that businesses run our market. Businesses run how well our economy is. Okay, so remember that. All right, and this talk is going to be about how to make money with your car. I'm going to get into that, but I just want to briefly start with inflation. Okay, so with that being said, when all this newfound money is printed, right? So now so just a basic lesson, and y'all know this with Jordans, y'all know this with pretty much anything. The less supply of something, the more valuable it is. Hence why when Jordan started, releasing a set amount of certain shoes, hence why we used to be out there camping for the Concords. They're back at Foot Locker, dude probably only got 4 size 13, so you got to camp for them, right? Why are we camping for them? Because we know that it's an exclusive supply of them, right? Okay, so translating that same idea to the concept of inflation. When the government print more money, which is when we put more money into our economy, that means that each dollar bill loses its value. It loses its purchasing power. Okay, so inflation is bad for the poor. Let's not even say poor. Inflation is bad for the working class. Inflation is great for the investor. So this leads me to the topic of how to make money with your car. The way you combat inflation is to own assets, right? You combat inflation by owning assets. It is very key in today's time that we own assets for several reasons. AI is on the verge of eliminating a lot of mundane jobs. Along with that, we are on the verge of falling into a recession. So this means that, and as you can probably see now, prices of goods and services are rising, but the amount of money jobs are paying isn't. And so what that will do is it will continue to separate the wealth gap. The rich will get richer and the poor will get poorer. The rich will get richer and the poor will get poorer. That is a true statement, but in my opinion, is worded wrong. People who own assets will get richer, and people who don't will get poorer. So, no knock, but in today's time, having a college degree is not enough. College is not going to teach you how to create assets and manage them. It's not. Sorry, they failed you. You have to be financially savvy in today's time. AI eventually will make its heyday and eliminate a lot of jobs. For example, one job that I'm going to speak about on here is Uber, right? Uber will eventually replace the drivers with cars that are self-driving. And you can say that's messed up, you can get your panties in a wad, but you have to think at it from a businessman standpoint. Okay, why would I spend money on a human being who is more prone to make mistakes when I can hire a robot for cheaper and they'll be more efficient? It just makes plain sense, right? Okay, so just lastly, want to talk about inflation in this regard to something a little more current in times. And then I'm going to give you guys some data, some numbers, right? Just so you can see the effects of inflation. And I'm doing this so you guys understand why asset creation is so valuable. Asset creation is more important than college degrees. Asset creation is more important than a high-paying salary. Trust me. You have to live below your means so you can buy assets. If you are the type to only save money, kudos to you. I actually commend you more than the next motherfucker who just wasting their money on materials, because at least you could show some discipline, right? But as I explained previously, the cost of goods and services are going up. which directly means that your purchasing power of the dollars that you saved are losing value. So you combat that with inflation. And I'm gonna give you an example. Last year, and now we're going back to school, right? Last year, school products, as in pens, paper, erasers, color pencil, all that good stuff you buy for your kids, right? They were 9% cheaper than what they are now. So paper, pencils, and pens are 9% higher in price than what they were. Clothes are now 4.5% higher in cost than what they were last year. Now, if you look around the job sector and the job market, has pay increased? It hasn't. It hasn't at all. But I'm gonna give you a little tidbit, right? When you go to Walmart, who owns all those goods and service? I mean, who owns all of those goods and supplies that you're buying for your kids? Walmart does. So think about it like this, and I said this in my previous video: buy blue chips at a bargain. Imagine if you bought Walmart when it was at $121. Now Walmart is fluttering around $150. I could be wrong, but I haven't checked the chart for a while. But Walmart is just fluttering around $150 or higher, right? So that means you would have made $30 for every one share that you purchased. Now, why do you want to purchase shares of Walmart? Because you want to be on the winning team. These companies, and remember I stated that America is a capitalistic society, these companies will never fail. The blue chips who produce goods and services at a mass scale, they will never fail. So if Walmart is charging more for their prices, and they were already profitable last year, what do you think will be the end result this year and the year to come? Walmart will continue to do the same or even better. And this is why you must own asset. Stocks are an asset. I just explained that Walmart was at 120. If you'd have bought Walmart at 120 several months ago, and now it's at 150, you made $30 for every $120 you put in. If you saved $10,000 5 years ago, today your $10,000 is probably worth, in purchasing power, the amount of things that you can buy, your $10,000 is probably worth about $7,000. If you put $10,000 in the Walmart stock, and I just said you made $30 for every 121, so let's say you roughly had 90 shares. So what's 90 times 30? 2,700. So if you invest in assets, if I put $10,000 in the Walmart, my $10,000 would turn to $13,000. If I just saved $10,000, my purchasing power will reduce to $7,000. This is the power of assets. This is why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. This is why those who own assets get richer and those who do not get poorer. Now, I'm done with our brief talk about the current state of the market and economy that we are in. Prices will continue to rise. Feds will continue to raise rates because we're spending too much money. And if you're not privy to these things, I'm not saying you have to love it as much as me, but turn on the news or follow certain YouTube content creators like myself. I'm a novice one, but follow Market Mondays, follow Earn Your Leisure University, follow the Master Investor Ian Dunlap, follow Aristotle Investments, follow RJ Trades, follow Black Wall Street Panthers Lawrence. Follow those guys, because follow Wall Street Trapper. These are people that are just giving you the information without you having to do the work. And they know the current state of the market, and they talk about it daily. So you can learn without even have to go on CNN and listen to some mundane people in a suit. Okay, so moving off of that. Now, how to make money with your personal vehicle. So before I get into it, we're about 15 minutes in. I'm going to try to keep this video at 35 minutes because I don't want to, our videos, it's really hard for people just to sit there and watch that. Even though these are gems, I watch it. There's people on YouTube that post 3-hour videos. Mark the Mentor. I'm going to keep saying this man's name. He's an outstanding businessman. Mark the Mentor. He gets on YouTube every night and make videos that last about 2 to 4 hours, and I watch them. Why? Because it's knowledge, it's game. Do I want to watch that, or do I want to scroll on Instagram and learn nothing? Okay. No, I said I wasn't going to do that, all that preaching tonight. I'm just going to provide the information, right? Okay, so back to the lesson, right? So inflation is rising. The pay of jobs is not. So your same 100K job is now roughly a 75K job in grand scheme of purchasing power. So how to make money with your car? I'm going to start with the passive ways to make money with your car. One of my favorite ways to make money with my car is Turo. I started my Turo account. When did I probably start? Probably, what's 2023? Probably a year and 1 month ago. Like I said, I purchased the Kia K5 GT line, and if you guys want to rent with me, I will just contact me on my Instagram page, Justin Walker 22, and I will cut you a discount. It is what it is. Right now the car is listed at $85 a day. If you hit me up, I'll give you a discount, knock it down to 70, 75. Just holler at me. All right, so Turo, right? I love Turo. Absolutely love Turo. I love Turo. Why do I love Turo? Because their platform is very user friendly. They have certain insurance coverages that can cover you. I recently introduced my mom to Turo. She has a Mercedes-Benz truck, and she has been going crazy. She hasn't made a payment on her car in 3 months, and she has enough money in reserves to not make a payment for half a year, 6 months. She's renting her Benz truck on there for $155 a day, and is renting like hotcakes. Okay, so Turo, right? When I got into the Turo game, I purchased the Kia. And the thing about Turo, I like the insurance packages. My sister also does Turo. She has a Kia Telluride. She's doing outstanding. Literally outstanding. And the thing about it is, like, people will rent cars, and people will rent your car over renting a car from a enterprise or things like that, because Turo is a lot more flexible with the scheduling. You can get a car like my car, for example, because I'm on the road. You can get that car in an hour from now. Just give me an hour notice, and it's already clean. My team can have it to you, and you can return that car at 10 p.m., 2 a.m. Just coordinate with the Turo host. But now I'm going to get into some Turo strategy and how to start. One thing that I want to tell everybody is this: business and emotions don't mix. Business and emotions don't mix. When I tell you this information, and when I tell you the amount of money you can make, don't just go out there and rush and do it. Don't be Justin. Don't be Justin. Don't be Justin. Be patient. Be patient. Line up your credit score. Line up your down payment. Line up waiting for the prices of cars to go down. Because when I purchased my car, the prices of used cars was inflated. I paid $32,000 for my car, a Kia. I really wanted a Tesla at that time. At that time, a Tesla was running about 42 bands. Couldn't afford it. Okay, so I get the Kia. It's not really what I wanted, but thank God I'm grateful. I love the car. It's the best car I've ever driven. I ever had, for sure. But to put that in retrospect, that same car in today's time, you can purchase it for about $27,000, $26,000. That $42,000 Tesla you can purchase for about $30,000. Okay, so I rushed into the game. My credit score wasn't the highest, so I'm getting charged 13% interest. 13% interest on a car. The interest that I'm paying on my house is 3.2%. This is called transparency. This is called letting you know not to do this shit, right? So I wasn't patient. My credit score at the time, I think, was a 610, because this is around the time I started over leveraging myself with the cars, and this is around the time, if you keep up with my videos, that I started to lose all of my savings on trading. Everything that I had built up had increased my account 200%. Lost it all, and then emotionally just started using my cars to cover bills. And that was a mistake, right? Okay. So, be patient. Why? Because the number one rule of business is to stay lean. Be lean. You understand? Be lean. So get your monthly payments as low as possible. If that means taking the idea to your mom who has a better credit score, do it. If that means telling her, hey mom, I'll give you $100 a month, or dad or aunt or uncle or said friend XYZ or whatever, do it. Or just wait and be patient and get your own credit score up, because you would thank yourself in the end. Right? Okay, so how to get started with Turo. Let's break it down. No more personal stuff about me. Get an LLC. I would say get an LLC for tax purposes and just to be more legit. You really just want to get in the habit of being a corporation. Why? Because if anybody decides to sue you for any odd said reason, you're covered by the LLC. 2, get an LLC because you want to take things like cars out of your personal, and you want them to be in your business name. And once you start getting these type of loans and things in your business name, and you start paying them off, the bank will start trusting you, right? Now, when you go apply for a business credit card, when you may have gotten $10,000 without developing that relationship of paying on the car, now you may get 50 bands in business credit cards. I'm not lying. I've seen it. I don't even want to tell you the people I know that are doing it, because I don't want y'all all in their pockets. But either way, it's there. I told y'all I got up to 20 with a salary of $29,000 a year. So this is when I was working at Trulieve, of course. So get your finances together so you're lean. Step 1. Step 2, choose your vehicle. Choose your player. All right. And how do you do that? Market analysis. Before you jump into this market, before you jump into any game or business, research so you understand what you're investing in, right? So Tallahassee is a small and seasonal market. We are a college town. I live in Tallahassee, Florida. We are a college town. Okay. So with that being said, it's a pro and it's a con to that. The pro is that the Tallahassee market is not oversaturated. Not a lot of people are hip to Turo in Tallahassee compared to in Orlando. So what does that mean? And this will lead me to the first car I would suggest a person get in Tallahassee, because a heap of my followers are in the North Florida area. Get a Tesla. Do I think that a Tesla would work in Orlando? Maybe, if you can be lean. But this goes back to the pros and cons, and this also ties into my previous lesson on my video, that don't just try to copy another's game plan. Observe the resources that are around you. Observe what your market has and observe what your market is lacking. So our market in Tallahassee is like a lagging indicator. People are lagging behind knowing what the new app and new trend is, right? So if you try to get a Tesla in Orlando, and when you go on the Turo app, it's hella Teslas, hella. Why? Because these people are hip. These people are privy already to Turo, because it's a higher volume of individuals. If you go on Turo and look on the app for Teslas in Tallahassee, up until, and I think his name is Scott. Shout out Scott. I don't even know you, but you killed it. You killed it, buddy. You killed it. Up until about 6 months ago, there were no electric cars on the platform for the Tallahassee area. So this guy named Scott buys 2 Teslas. I kid y'all not. He literally buys 2. He puts 2 Tesla Model 3, one in 2018, one's a 2022. I do my homework, so I know. Within the span of 3 months, dude had 40 trips. And trips does not mean days. I mean, trips does not mean one day. Trips mean days. Trip. So that could be a 3-day trip, a 4-day trip, a 1-day trip, a 5-day trip. Buddy had 40 trips on one car think that was on a 2022, and he had about 27 trips on the other in the span of 3 months. Now, I told y'all that I was running at about generating about $900 a month with my Turo experience, and then I only was getting about 4 trips a month. So some were like 5 days, some were 3, had one for a week. So that's how I got to that 900, right? All right, cool. So I give y'all that whole spiel to say, do your market analysis. What works in your market, right? So I'm gonna give you a little advice for the Tallahassee market. A Tesla right now is about $32,000. Some are even $29,000. A lot of people would love to have that electric car experience, right? And there are not many cars that, well, let me say this, because so many people want that electric car experience, you can charge a little more. So Tesla at the price point of $30,000 is one of the only cars that you can legitimately charge $100 to $120 a day for a car that costs $30,000 market price. And with that $30,000, if you have a decent credit score, also go to the bank for financing. Go to the bank, and I'm going to throw y'all a little gem. Go to Envision. My girlfriend Jasmine, I love her. I'm always shout her out in every video. I wouldn't be able to do the things I do without her support me. So I love her for that. That's my baby. But either way, go to Envision, right? She just purchased a car not too long ago. Gave her a 4% interest rate. I told y'all I got hit cost ahead for 13. And you know, probably that wouldn't happen with a decent credit score. That was me being an idiot, right? So Envision has very low interest rates, and she doesn't have to make a payment for the first 3 months. Now, with that, imagine buying that car and putting it on Turo, right? And you already generate money. So that gives you a little buffer. But I ain't gonna lie. If you put a car on Turo, it's gonna rent. As long as it's priced properly, and as long as you have it ready and do good business, it's gonna rent, right? So get a Tesla, because for paying $30,000, you're now let's talk margins, right? And I'm gonna give y'all a few different options on cars that I like. Tesla Model 3 is the first one. $30,000, put it on there for $100 a day. When you first start, because you don't have any reviews, let's do $90 a day, right? Okay. Especially right now, because it's about to be football season. Go Noles. Florida State ranked number 8. I hate the Seminoles as a fan, but as a businessman, I love them. So Tesla car note at about $30,000 with a credit score of about 650. That'll probably run you in the neighborhood of $400 a month, right, for that car payment. Then after insurance, if you don't have a crazy insurance, if you don't have a crazy driving record, and this is why I say stay lean. If you don't have a crazy driving record, with that insurance, you'll probably be paying about $200. So out the door, Tesla investment $600 a month. So my goal is always to hit a rental rate of about half the month. So if you can rent that Tesla for 15 days a month, which is half, you still can drive it, the other half of the month. You basically have a free car that's making you money. So the Tesla, with at a price point of $600 a month, and if you rent it out 15 times a month, you'll be profiting $900 a month off a car. Now, side note, let me tell you what good savvy businessmen do. Okay, so if your rent and light bill is $900 a month, and now you're just generating $900 from that Tesla, what I would recommend at that point is putting back 30% for the Tesla. Now I'm talking about the $900 that you profited. So the payment and insurance already been taken out of that. Take 30% and put it in a savings account, or put it in a stock that pays dividend. If you want to be super flashy, and put that 30% of your money generated there. So if the Tesla needs tires, it don't need an oil change because it's electric. But if the Tesla needs tires, breaks, but not even breaks, only thing I can think of. But that 30% could be saved to keep your asset alive and keep it well manicured. So I'll recommend always doing that as a good business practice. Once you cover costs and once you're looking at profit, try to put about a 15 to 30% window away in savings, just to keep the asset well manicured, and so you can fix it on a drop of a dime at any point in time. And once that emergency asset fund hits about a reasonable 4,000-5,000, depending on how much maintenance that the asset usually costs. Cars, the maintenance isn't too crazy. So once that fund hits about 5,000, then everything else can go, can go strictly you. Now you can take a vacation. Now you can buy some designer. Now you can smoke some weed. You can do whatever the fuck you want because you have took care of the business and you paying your bills. All right, so that's why I love the Tesla, right? And if you're in the Tallahassee market, I'm gonna give y'all another little tidbit. Go grab a schedule of FAMU's home games as well as Florida State, and the weekend of those games boost your price by 25 to 30%. So if you're charging $100 a day for the Tesla, boost it up to $130, and people will pay it because you have a different class of individuals coming in. And this is why I specifically like that Tesla, because it's a car that will get both young and old, because it's very smooth, it's very elegant. It's a very classy car that dignifies status, and people love that. So you'll be able to get the parents, you'll be able to get the alumni, you'll be able to get the recently graduated people who have money. You'll be able to get the people that come with their friends and everybody's putting in on the wheel. You'll be able to get all this clientele. So Tesla will be my first option. Number two, I'm going to say the option is up to you. Do your market analysis, and the way you could win is to purchase a car that you like. It's simple as that. And I'm going to go back to, my kind of spiel about an apartment. I keep doing this, and I said I was going to do this in the first video. I want to tell y'all the whole scope and whole totality of things so you can understand the types of decisions that are made. So I like all of my assets to serve me two purposes. One, that's, money generated, and two, that's an intangible reason. So if the money isn't coming in, I still can find enjoyment out of it, still get use out of it. The apartment, for example, was renting out on Airbnb, but also me and my best friend Twan, shout out Twan, love you, brother. Me and him was staying in that apartment as well. So if we had a slow month, it's cool. We were still staying there. And if you get even more creative, you could have started hosting parties out of the apartment, which is something we did, but we never monetized it. But we easily could have. And anybody that's been to a One for All, O for A, Jaywalk, and Twan party, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. They go up. But either way, so yeah, number two, I'll say pick a car that you love, simply because if it rents, great. If it rents to that mark of 50% a month, which is, those are rookie numbers, that's very safe and modest. But if you only rent it, because maybe you have plans with your family, maybe because you have plans with your family, or maybe because you just wanted to drive a car, or maybe you don't have two cars, how I have, and it was a conflict of schedule, right? So even if you're renting that car even if you rent that car 5 days a month, and let's say you're charging $80 a day for that car, so let's say after Turo fees you are grossing like $300. Do you know what that does? Now let's say you got a Dodge Charger, right? And then let's say your monthly payment is $500, just ballpark, right? And you only rent the car for 5 days in 1 month, so you grossed about $285, $300. What you just did was took 40% a month off of your car note payment by sharing it with others. And I had a friend of mine, cousin of mine, I suggested that she should put her car on Turo, and one thing that she said was mileage. And I'm not saying this to knock her, I'm just saying this to identify a reason other people may have for not wanting to put their car on Turo. People don't drive that many miles. Every now and then you have somebody take a trip out of town, but it's been sometimes I ran my car 4 days and the person only drove 60 miles. It's been times I ran my car 2 days and the person drove 400 miles. And with Turo, you also could put a mile limit on it. So 2, do a car that works for you, do a car that you like. So you have a dual benefit from the car. 1, Tesla, this is for Tallahassee market specifically, but the overall ideal is doing market analysis. 3, go eco car. You buy a fucking Prius, buy a Camry, and this is actually the route that I wish I would have went, because I'm going to segue into the next ways to generate income that are not passive. And we're running at 35 minutes. If y'all think my videos are too long, just start letting me know, because I could split this stuff up. But my number one priority is to educate, like just like a college class that lasts Monday, Wednesday, Friday. They last about 50 minutes to an hour. So I try to keep it at that, but I try to keep it highly informative with not only information but also thought process. Right? Okay, cool. So the third car, I would say go with the eco cars, the Priuses, the Toyota Camrys, blah blah blah. And this is another little businessman tip. And this is something that I had to learn. Not everybody has your taste. Not everybody has your price point. Not everybody holds the same values you do. When I go out of town, I don't want a Prius. I don't want a Camry. I really don't. But my girlfriend, for example, and this is why she is a more financially disciplined person than me. She don't care. She don't give a fuck. She just want the car that's gonna be the cheapest, so she can have a peace of mind and not have to dig in her wallet too deep when she go wherever she go. So I love her. So you know what I mean? So you can go the eco car route. You can buy a Camry for $18,000 and have a solid credit score, and that car note will run you about $285 a month, right? And then you can put that car on. You can put that car on Turo for $45 a day, $50 a day. And you may be like, huh? That don't sound like nothing. But let's go back to the 50% of the month mark, 15 days. So if you rent that car at $50 a day for 15 days, that's $750. Now with business, you have to understand what you're generating, what you minus expenses is what you're taking home. What's in the middle is the margin. Because you could be grossing a lot with another car, but the eco car, the margins are probably outstanding because of how much you having to pay in expenses, the cost every month. And a lot of these eco cars have very high safety ratings, and they're not like the Hellcats and the Scat Packs to where your insurance will be higher. Your insurance will probably be cheap. So out the door, note $285, insurance probably $150. You probably only be spending $425 a month for this car, right? But you charging $50 a day, you renting out 15% of the month. You rent out 50% of the month. At the end of the month, you probably gross $800. So now this car note that's only $285, and the insurance like $100 roughly, so $385, and you just generated $800. You're grossing $400 off of a $285 investment every month. Now, when you're talking about owning assets and going to business, and this is where social media will fuck us up at, right? You are taking home profit, $400 a month profit, off of investing $285 a month. So that means you're getting a 30% return on your money. I don't give a damn if I had $10 and turned it into $30. They're like, oh, you only made $20. That's how broke people think. No. A businessman, a investor says, I tripled my money and I outpaced inflation. See, that's the key to all of this. Even if you want to be a very moderate, you don't want to get too in depth. Your number one goal as a leader of your household, as a future parent or a parent now, is to protect your money, protect your wealth. And one way that you protect wealth is to outpace inflation. So, eco car route, which is another great route to do. Now, so gave you a broke down on Turo. If y'all want more in-depth ways, all I'm gonna say is the last tidbit about Turo, right? Actually, I won't. That's a little too spicy, and we're running on 40 minutes. So I'm just gonna be broad. If you want to know how to get the car in your business, and if your personal credit score is low, I can give you a way to add someone to your business temporarily who has a good credit score and get them to PG the car. And with that, that is only a hard pull to that person's credit who does it for you. So the person that has the high credit, that's your friend, mom, sister, whoever, add them to your articles of organizations on your LLC. This is why I say get an LLC, because you can do all these like cheat code type shits. Add them to your business. It's a $25 cost to get that change. Add them to your business for 1 day. Then go get them to PG the car. It will only be a hard pull on that person's credit, but the debts on paper will go to your business, and you will have a loan on your business. Now, once you get one loan on your business, and the next time you want to get another car, let's say you start with the Prius and get the higher person's credit on your business, then you PG it so you get your foot in the door, and now that Prius is on your business debt profile. If you do well with those payments, and let's say you want to size up and get a BMW Series 5, Series 7, whatever. Now you won't have to PG it. You can get that car strictly in the business name. Okay. So we're running at about 41 minutes. I'm gonna try to get this next play in 9 minutes. Okay. And if y'all want to know more, just hit me up. So passively Turo. And another way to generate money is also passive, but let me explain this next way first, and I'll lead you back to it. So how you can monetize it 2 ways. Okay, so you can do gig apps. How to generate money with your car? Do gig apps. That is the Ubers, that is the DoorDashes. Y'all, people know about those. Those are the Lyfts. The other ones people may not be privy of is Walmart Spark. I have a friend, shout out Tajay, who introduced me to Spark, and he does extremely well on there. It's been times where he has made $900 a week on Spark, running at about 30 hours a week. And like I said, you don't have to do this. A lot of y'all gonna say, well, I don't have the time. I get it. You have another normal job. But this is why I say the sacrifices. And once you start understanding stocks, you will start to understand that I need more disposable capital to invest, because invest frees me. Invest cut downs on a retirement date. Investment protects my wealth. Investment makes my money grow, so now I could take trips for free, right? So you can get out there and do Walmart Spark for Friday and Saturday and one of your days off that you may have throughout the week, and you could probably make about $300. What does that do? That discounts your car. Now, if you start combining the strategies that I'm saying, which is what I did, I was Ubering my car, I was renting my car out on Turo. So now I freed myself from my job, which allowed me to have more time to elevate. Now that's how I got into the boss truck game. I've been working for myself ever since I was when did I quit Trulieve? About 1.5 years ago. And it's a blessing, like, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm probably generating, before I got into the boss truck, which I'm at a loss right now, because I just started, of course, but I was generating $48,000 a year, which is more than what I was making at a job. But once I quit and worked for myself, I started making $48,000 a year, which ain't even impressive. That's about 4 bands a month. I had times where I did 7 bands a month, but that's about 4 bands a month. But that's a success. I've granted myself, I've bought my time back. I bought my autonomy of my daily schedule back. So that's the goal. So that's why I say make these sacrifices, because you do Spark for 3 days, you do Uber for 3 days, you may only make $250. But what do? You can save that, or you can transfer that to another bill, or you can transfer that to paying back consumer credit card debt. Your choice. But Gig apps, right? So Uber. Give you a quick tip on Uber, right? The best time to Uber in Tallahassee is from August to September. I wouldn't even Uber unless it's your full time job, because it was mine. I wouldn't even Uber outside of August 25th to September. You can probably stretch it. Basically, while college kids are in town, because it slows down drastically after that. And the best times to Uber are early in the morning. This from personal driving experience. I drove Uber for the last year. I would say drive starting at 6:45 till 10 is very hot, and then driving at night you can start at 8, but just this window. You don't have to drive these straight hours, but from 8 p.m. to about 3 a.m. in Tallahassee, you're gonna eat, and you're really gonna eat from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. You're gonna go crazy. Okay, so, and I'm gonna tell you this about Uber, right? A lot of people who know me, and y'all probably picked up on it, full transparency, ain't scared of nothing, right? But I stutter a lot, frequently. But me as a businessman, I know it's something that I have to continue to overcome. When I'm booking these loads, I'm a dispatcher for my truck, I probably make about 30 calls a day. And stutter or not, I get through it because I get better with every interaction. So I say that to say this, right? Uber, I love Uber because you are gonna interact with plenty of people, man. People are beautiful, bro. You're gonna meet someone I've Ubered someone who was blind. I've Ubered people with no legs. I've Ubered people, the same people every day. I've Ubered people that say they worked a double the last 4 days. I've Ubered a guy who said he worked a double the last 4 days to pay off his lawyer fees of $7,000, and he does not have a license, and he's staying with his mom, and he's 42. And what that does is it puts life into perspective. It makes you more humble, and it makes you more grateful for what you can do. So this is why I used to love Uber, because you meet people. You meet great people, like great. The real heroes of today is the working class, who are not giving up but have all odds stacked against them, and who could give up. These people empowered me daily. It'll be times that I'll be complaining about trading at 24 out. I would be complaining about losing $400 in one day after I just made $600 the day before, and then $400 the day before that. And I'm down in the dumps. Really? Come on. But that's why I love Uber, right? So Uber, DoorDash, Spark, Lyft is another gig app. And just put in perspective so you can see if it's worth your time. Uber pays at a pace of about $18 to $25 an hour. When it's football season and when Florida State has a home game, you can expect to make anywhere from $25 to $50 an hour. This is no cap, I'm telling you the truth. And be wary of when the parents first come with their kids. Be aware of a time called Parents Weekend. Shout out Twan and Dre. I think the first night of Parents Weekend, I made $400. The next night I made $300, and then that last Sunday I made $200. And this is me barely driving. Probably about 5 hours to 6 hours a day for that rate. Okay, so the next one I want to talk about, and this is not as passive unless you tweak it this way. This is more for the eco cars. I've done this with my Kia K5 GT, but just a disclaimer, this will put miles on your car. Uber will put miles on your car. Uber will put miles on your car. That's if you do it full time. But this one will put miles on your car unless you do it like 2 or 3 days a week. So this next company is called US Pack. And there are other companies, US Pack, American Expediting, CW Logistics, UPS has a expediting service as well. Amazon Relay, which is coming to Tallahassee soon. I would advise people signing up for that for more passive income. But these US Pack, I've worked with them for the last 3 months. I've been able to generate anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a week with them. Just depends on how many days a week I drive with them. The days that I made $500 a week, that's with me taking about 4 routes. So that's about 4 days. They pay you weekly. I can sign up anybody who's interested in that. So with USPAC, you are a medical courier. So you will deliver medicines and prescriptions to nursing homes around the Big Bend area. The routes that I usually typically do, I think I go from Tallahassee to Live Oak to Madison to Lee County, those type of areas, and just stop at nursing homes in there, bro. It's an amazing job. Really, I kid you not. You probably load your car with about 12 bins. The bins have medicine in them. You take them into the nursing homes. You go to the nursing station and you just get the nurse to sign off on it. Great people. And one thing I like about that job is that I get to experience older people who are on the tail end of their life. And what this does is this gives me motivation to get this bag, so when my parents get to that age, I have the time to be there with them through every breath. That's big. I'm sorry to make that so fucking grave on your heart, and we're running over 50 minutes, but it's cool. I don't care. For those who really want to get rich, they'll start watching the entire segment of this shit, right? So USPAC is a medical courier. Those routes pay about $150, and they start at 1 p.m. I was usually getting home around 7:30. Routes paying $150. They have other routes paying more, other routes paying less. Making about $500 to $1,000 a week. Easy money, definitely easy money. You could be your own boss, just be in your car riding. Each stop is usually about 45 minutes away from each other, so it's very smooth. Very smooth. Now, this is the play I'm talking about that's passive, that you can run, and it's a little advanced, but you can get money right. So you can buy an eco car. And remember, going back to this concept, buying a asset that has two purposes, that can make money two ways, rather both being tangible, like generate money, or one being tangible, one being intangible. So whether it's a personal dream car you love, you're trying to rent to get at a discount, and it's also generating money for you, but you can also get a benefit of driving a car. So you can sign up for these gig apps like USPAC, right? And USPAC will require you to have an LLC. This is why I say get an LLC, because you can really get busy with shit, right? And brief, American Expediting also pays anywhere from $500 to $900 a week. They pay weekly. Reach out to me. I can put you in connects. I have the hiring managers for all of those opportunities that I mentioned. Right. So this is what I was saying. This is how you become a real boss, right? Okay. So you can get an account with USPAC, get your LLC, and what that means is you are a company. You can have multiple drivers, right? So what you can do is, if you have a cousin that you trust that has a driver's license that's 18, or really anybody, and they don't have a car, you can dispatch them out, basically meaning you can employ them with USPAC. When once the route is handed to you, you can divvy it out to them, and you can charge them a fee of $200 a week to drive your car. And this may sound like not a lot, but to be real, it's the perfect price. You have to charge them $200 a week because of the wear and tear on your car and the oil changes that you would have to perform probably every month and a half with this type of nature of a job. But if we all have a young cousin, whatever, who just gonna go to Target and work and make $15 an hour. Well, scratch that, Target paying $25. But we all have those cousins and friends that go to McDonald's and make nothing, $14 an hour, stand up on their feet all day, getting treated like dogs. No knock on anybody that work at McDonald's, but everybody is a king and queen. Everybody has God in them. I don't want to see nobody work like that when it's easier routes, right? So you can hire them on with USPAC, right? You can tell them, okay, I'm going to present you with an opportunity to make $900 a week with USPAC, but you're going to have to drive 6 days a week, 5 days a week. And if they don't want to make $900, cool. You can say you can drive as much as you want, but you're going to pay me $200 a week to use my car and to be in contact with this opportunity. Now, if you go eco route, remember I broke down numbers. You buy a Toyota Camry, a Prius, a Honda Civic Sport. These cars running about $17,000. So your car note would be about $250, plus the insurance was another $100, right? So you're paying $350 out the door a month for this car. Passive. You can tell them, okay, you can drive the car. And this is how I am, bro. It depends on if you trust the person. But I'll tell them, this is your car. you can personally drive the car, or you can tell them you can't personally drive the car. Bring the car back home with me, and I'll take you home, or you get back in your car, or whatever. But they probably won't have a car that ran yours. So either way, you can tell them you bring the car back home to me after every shift, and you gotta pay me $200 a week to use my car, plus to have access to this opportunity. Now, 200 times 4, $200 a week for 4 weeks is $800 a month. And now y'all starting to understand what I'm saying? This is called This is called high level thinking. This is called playing chess and not checkers, right? There's an opportunity like USPAC, and most people will say, I don't have the time. This is why I was saying earlier, I don't want to hear no excuses. You got to get creative. You may not have the time, but most of us have plenty of friends or cousins who would hate these middle-wage, mundane jobs with poor ass management. So you can tell them, all right, bet, I have a better opportunity for you where you can be happier, be in your own space, or driving the car for me. And now they are generating $800 a month, and now you profiting $500 a month off of this car. And all of this leads me to say, you're outpacing inflation. Outpacing it. And then once you get into the stock market, you can take that money and invest in dividend, which are stocks that just pay you to own them. Or you can invest in your newfound hobbies. You can invest in a nail salon. You can invest in whatever you want to do, or you could take more time off from work. You can use that money for vacations, but the name of it is you have freedom and you have options. Let me think a little bit. So that's it. That's how you can generate money with your car. For me personally, I Ubered for a year to get my time back. I also had my car on Turo, so I was Ubering 24/7. I was Ubering about 6 hours a day, and I was Ubering about 4 hours a day, making about $500 a week. I wish I would have did more. If I was Ubering like a regular job shift, I've been making $1,000 a week for sure from August to from the time school is in, between fall and spring session, whatever. It's really only a 4 slow month period. You know, when the students are gone, which all businesses in Tally suffer during that time. When the kids are gone, when the students are not and when the regular students, like middle school elementary kids, are not in school, because you also be picking them up, taking them to school, which is crazy. But brief recap: had my car on Turo, making $900 a month. I was Ubering as well to be my own boss, making about $2,000 a month. So I was generating 3 bands off that, which was $36,000 a year, which is more than what I was making at my job, getting bossed around by fucking flunkies. Yeah, I mean that, because me, I'm a nice, genuine person, and you can just tell some people just are very poor managers, bro. Their life is miserable, and they will just pound it on you. And then me, like, if you nice, yes sir, yes ma'am, respectful, these jokers used to attack me even more, just to make an example, because I ain't gonna cuss you out. Man, my goddamn dad'll beat a hole in me. That nigga 6'8", 370 pounds, 360 pounds. Nigga, what? Okay. Mom was a principal and a teacher. We ain't disrespect nobody. That ain't our brand. That ain't what we do. You know, but if you enjoy this talk, it's cool. That's how to make money with your car. I hope this helps somebody. USPAC, you can get them. Go online, type in USPAC. Go on Indeed and type in independent contractor jobs. Go on Indeed and type in CW Logistics. Go on Indeed and type in American Expediting. UPS also has a expediting services that you can join. Amazon Relay will be in our area soon. Who else did I say? You know, Uber, DoorDash, y'all know about them. Oh, Walmart Spark is another great Instacart. So there you go. We combine that with putting your car on Turo. Boom. So peace out, y'all. Thank y'all for listening. I'll be heading to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina tomorrow in a box truck. I'll try to record some of that stuff for anybody that want to see that. And yeah, that's it. I'm out.